Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, it's Joe. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up on how XBurst went down at the weekend. Once again, same as last year, it was an absolutely wonderfully run event. I have been in and out of the doctors a lot recently. I'm not going to go into any details as to what it's all about. It's nothing you guys need to worry about, but I definitely wasn't feeling the greatest as I went, but I definitely was really happy to see everybody. You know, Michael, who runs the event, did such a great job. The venue was lovely. You know, we got drinks that were quite cheap. You know, they served us a decent amount of food. It was a lovely place. And just to see 47 players for an unofficially run event is really great. And we actually got 20 players for title format tournament as well. So I think that it would be really cool to kind of feature some more title format decks and gameplay, things like that for title format on this channel, because I think it's being a lot more officially supported now than it was before. So it's great to see that people are really starting to embrace it. And I've never really kind of delved into title format, so it'd be interesting to see what I could do with it. I haven't been playing, to be honest, in quite a while. Like, I've been trying to showcase a lot of knowledge about the game for a while and a lot of, you know, tips and tricks for other players, but because a lot of the time I spend now with Final Fantasy TCG is spent promoting the game or talking to you guys through YouTube and trying to encourage people to get into the game, that I don't actually, until very recently, I haven't actually had that much time to play the game myself. So it was really great to take a group of people with me, because I've actually been building a small group of people up within my hometown in Colchester, to try and get like a nice group of people going, because, you know, the stores all moved around. There was a lot of kind of kerfuffle when it came to that, so it was really good to get a group of us together, and we've been sort of playing together for a little while now, for, you know, 3 or 4 weeks, and it's been really cool. So there were 6 of us from my town to go up there, and I didn't do too great, I'm not gonna lie. I went 3-3, which isn't terrible. I made a colossal screw up in my final round against Kevin Whaley, who was a lovely guy, and his deck was amazing, and I think he was playing mono wind, and he did really well. He top aces, and I lost to him because he outplayed me and I made some silly mistakes, and it cost me the top 8, which is unfortunate, because I tend to, whenever I do play in tournaments, or I have done in a little while, I tend to get like in the bubble underneath it and then drop it at the last minute. I did actually lose my first round as well to Scions, to Alex Hancock's, who, big shout out to him. I'm sure a lot of you guys who play the game already know who he is. He's done very well with this game, and he's actually a good friend of mine. He's very sweet. He also hosts the Crystal Tower podcast, so I'd encourage you guys to check that out as well. I have been on there numerous times, but I haven't been able to be on there for a little while. But I actually ran Wind Earth, and I'll show you the deck list now, actually, so you guys can see what I was playing. And it's quite, you know, it is a competitive deck. The only problem is that, and it's something that I've discovered about my own playstyle recently, is that my theory crafting works very well. And a lot of my gameplay for many games, not just this one, it comes off of theory crafting. But because I haven't been able to practice as much, sometimes the theories that I put into play don't come out as well as I would have liked. So I'll explain what I mean by giving this deck as an example. Now, I decided that I wanted to put Hope and two different copies of Alexander in the deck, with the theory being that Ice was going to be a lot more popular in the format than it was. The idea being that Hope or all 3 of them being EX bursts is a thing, because if Turbo Discard gets an early jump on you, there isn't an awful lot you can do about it. But having a high number of EX bursts in your deck allows you to kind of come back from it more easily, so you can try and keep your hand back up. And the idea was that Hope would have that and be able to search for either the Alexander that can destroy monsters, so that I could get around Gesper, or the Alexander that breaks things that 9k or higher, because it allows me to have removal for things like Orphan should mid-range Ice get played. And him having the ability to activate forwards means that playing him on the board is actually also relevant as well. I've also seen quite a lot of mono wind decks running Hope and the Alexanders to success, so I thought, oh, well, I'll give it a go. The trouble I had with it is that it didn't gel very well with the rest of the deck, and while I absolutely adore the Final Fantasy XI engine that Wind Earth has, having Semilafina, Star Sibyl, Moogle 11, and then I ran Camelot and Shadow Lord. Shadow Lord is actually extremely good in the meta right now. Not only does it deal with a lot of the 2-drops that you see play in Ice, it deals with Ida. Scions was actually very popular at this tournament. I believe, you know, and it did very well in the tournament as well. And it has done since Opus 6 came out, which it was quite easy to see that deck is going to do very well in the meta. It all deals with Ida, and it also deals with a lot of things that like aggro-y decks are going to do, like, you know, fire decks, your Tiefers, things like that. You know, hasty guys, it will deal with quite nicely. I enjoy playing that, and then playing the Dadaluma engine is something that I've played very, very frequently and I really like, and it sticks around. I think the trouble is that in order to incorporate the Hope engine in the deck, I had to take out some of the stuff that probably would have made the deck more consistent, which included Chaos Walker of the Wheel, which pairs up beautifully with new legendary Zidane, who I've discovered having played this deck, you know, a little bit more than I had done previously. Playing a turn 1 Zidane is actually a pretty scary thing. If you play a Zidane turn 1, your opponent then has to answer it. I did it a couple of times in games that I did win, mainly on the back of the fact that I thought, oh, I'm probably going to be playing against Turbo Discard, therefore I should play all my cards quickly. And I think a lot of the meta has kind of gone toward that mentality when playing. So even if you're not playing Turbo Discard, the game's pace is much, much faster because everyone's so scared of losing their hand that they're playing a lot more aggressively and a lot more quickly on turn 1, and that included me. The times that I did do well, I would play either Zidane or Wall turn 1, and those would, you know, set the pace if my opponent couldn't remove it. Stupidly, I once or twice played those and left no forwards in my hand, and then if they went first and they had a backup out, they would then play a Chaos Walker of the Wheel if they were playing Wind, which I then had no forward to drop down after the Zidane, so it was a bit of a mistake on my part. And basically, I think that my rustiness is starting to show through. Like I said, I don't get to play as much as I used to, as much as I would absolutely love to. My working schedule is very, very intensive at the moment, and you know, getting as many videos as I can out for you guys to enjoy that aren't necessarily focused on me or how I play the game is how I try to put across a lot of what I do when it comes to YouTube. And I'm really, really glad that you guys are, you know, so friendly and, you know, so accommodating when I come to these events and stuff like that, because it's so warm and it's really, really lovely for me. And I hope that, you know, it's nice, you know, it's lovely to come and chat to you guys in general. I hope you guys enjoyed the event as much as I did if you went. But I think that I do need to start playing the game more, definitely for my own benefit, because I'd love to get back to the stage that I was when the game came out, and I used to do very well then, but as the sets have kind of gone on, I think certainly with Opus 5 and 6, I think I've lost touch with the meta a little bit, so I want to kind of try and get back into that, and I think it's important that I do that. Anyways, the tournament was lovely, as I said. Like, I had a really, really good time, and I really, really enjoyed like seeing everybody. I met some people that I haven't seen in a long time, some people that I'd never actually met before, but I'd spoken to a lot online. Some of the guys who are on my Patreon, for example, like, you know, John, who I have spoken to many, many times online, but met for the first time at the weekend. He's been so supportive, so a big shout out to him. It's lovely to see you. Dave, Alex, Jamie actually sat, Jamie Faulkner, who is another person that I'm sure is very well known within the community, sat and played Turbo Discard with me because I wanted to go in with the worst case scenario, and I played going second against Turbo Discard, and I wanted to see how the deck performed, how the Hope engine kind of incorporated into the deck, whether it actually made any difference. Spoiler, it doesn't. You know, it doesn't make much difference. If Turbo Discard goes first and gets the good hand, you're still in trouble. Like, it doesn't make that much of a difference, quite honestly. I don't think Turbo Discard is as broken as everybody thinks it is. I do think that it's quite uninteractable, which is unfortunate. So I do wonder if something will maybe get seen in the future if the deck continues to do well. It seems like quite a coin flippy deck, which is an unfortunate thing. It's not something that I had experienced previously until kind of Opus 6, because Opus 5 Discard Ice was quite mid-rangey, so it was like you had your FF6 engines, whereas this one is just, I play Thaumaturge, I play Gesper, I play this, that and the other, Argath. I just like bin your hand turn 1 and just hope for the best. And that's not the way that I like to play, but I am going to start playing decks like that more so that I can regain that kind of touch with the meta that I was talking about previously. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you guys is I am actually planning, one of the things that I did want to mention as well is that my good friend Alex, who did top 8 at the event, running Waterwind Chocobos, is from my hotel, so, you know, I can be very, very happy that someone who has started playing more recently in my group has done really well already. It's really, really lovely to see that, so a big shout out to Alex as well. But I'm hoping now that I have a group, I can start sharing some actual gameplay footage with you guys, because it's something that I've been meaning to do for ages, but quite honestly, the technical setup of it all, like, terrified me. a little bit. With kind of these kind of videos, it's quite easy for me to set up. I'm very good at, I like to think I'm very good at kind of setting up a nice backdrop for you guys to see, you know, presenting things nicely through the computer. But when it comes to the actual kind of physical setup of having to get a tripod over an arm and getting the camera to focus properly, I get very, very frustrated and stressed by it very, very quickly because I just want everything to be perfect all the time. But I think I've just about cracked it. So I am going to be posting some videos on gameplay, and I'll give you a little preview of the next one that I'm going to be doing now, so you can see how that's going to go. And you know, I'll be providing commentary, because I've done commentary for official events like numerous times, and I'd like to practice doing that as well in the hope that I can do more of it, because I really enjoy it. So then that way I can kind of critique my own play, as well as kind of, you know, encourage others to showcase their own decks as well and do it within my house, and it'll be really good fun. Anyways, that is all for this video. This is more kind of like a vlog post, because I'm not very good at, I've told you guys numerous times, I'm not very good at the whole hold my phone up at an event and sit there and talk to the, hey guys, what is up? I'm not that guy, I can't do it. But I wanted to give you guys an update on how things went over the weekend, and just wanted to say hi more than anything else. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content or any others. I'm actually doing a video next on Opera Omnia, but that's because they're releasing Kuja in it, and I've been wanting to do little segues into some of the mobile games for a while, and now that Kuja's coming into it, and I believe Brave Exvius has actually been confirmed to be in the trading card game as well, so that's something to look forward to too. But yes, there's plenty of other things coming out, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again. See you later. Bye.